Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. So, as we all know, Russia has a potential of about 30 million possible conscripts, people who would be able to, come and join the military in a general mobilization. So, out of about 30 million, which is a very conservative estimate based on the population, male population, age groups, and so on. That's why if the Russians push a button, Ukrainians have no chance. And I might say a lot of other countries have no chance if they decide to turn crazy. What's going on right now? Western mass media and other weasels are claiming the Russians are running out of personnel, and weapons and garbage weapons, rusty weapons. Well, they just were going to mobilize 400,000 more contract service personnel. Contract, that means military. So they will have 400,000, which they can activate just like this. How many can United States do? They can't even meet their quotas. Remember, I think they were about 40% short this year? Last year, I'm sorry. 40% short. So instead of having this number, they had this number. But hey, they opened, they were very inclusive, if you know what I mean. Very inclusive and very diverse. Well, it seems like with all that diversity and inclusion and equity, people did not want to come and join the military. They give them all kind of perks. I saw some perks that these guys are giving to join the military. I was like, that's impossible. I think they were talking about, I don't want to say it, but anyway, because I'm not certain that was the amount, and I don't want to. But it was a lot. Besides, you have if you go, you're gonna have some perks like college paid or this amount of money and this and that and this and that. Well, it used to be that the military was something that was pushed by your patriotism, by the love of your country, by your nationalism. There you go. But anyway, now it's just I pay you, you come. It's like a job. If it's a job, then why are you a hero? I can have a truck driver when he drives, if he loses 1 minute of attention, not 1 minute, 10 seconds of attention, he's dead. 10 seconds every time he drives. So if he drives, let's say 10 hours a day, right? A truck driver, 9, 10, let's say 10 hours a day. So he drives 10 hours a day. In those 10 hours a day, then he's in a mission. He's on a mission. He drives a truck. If that truck, you give him 10 seconds, you just black out, 10 seconds. Dead. So you tell me that a military, a person, a soldier, is over there on a mission, 10 hours. Why is it 10 hours? 10 hours have to sleep at one point, right? 10 hours, well, you can be bombarded. Well, however you want to take it. I don't think that for him 10 seconds means at the end of the end of the day, all right? Because sometimes you drive a truck, sometimes you stay somewhere, hiding somewhere, not a truck, but you're driven by other because you're deployed. But anyway, let's go back to this article. So we have Russian army to be replenished with 400,000 new contract service personnel. Ukrainska Pravda. This is Wednesday, 15 March 2023. The Russian Defense Ministry will start new recruitment of professional soldiers recruitment to the Russian army from April 1st, their aim being to add 400,000 new recruits to the army. As Radio Svoboda, is that the word? Svoboda? Svoboda, reported the Russian Defense Ministry has sent documents to the regions indicating the number of people with whom contracts should be signed. Now, Radio Svoboda noticed that several Russian regional media outlets immediately published the total number of contract service personnel needed to replenish the Russian army. It was noted that Russia planned to recruit 400,000 such soldiers. Now, to be honest about it, I don't know if these guys will be recruited like you come over, or it's a voluntary, well, I want to get in. Oh, I want to get in. I'm not sure. But usually, I don't know, I think it's still in Russia, it's a mandatory military service. I'm not certain, but I think it is, which is a good thing, I gotta say. You need to go over there and be disciplined a little bit. And you gotta know how to, be active in these kind of circumstances. You can't just and then you gotta work and fight the Chinese. What, me? I identify as an object. I'm a plant. You can't recruit me. I'm not gonna come. No. I identify as a plant. What? That's how it is right here. You can identify as something else. You can't be recruited, right? Drafted. Let's put it this way. So let's go back to this thing. Radio Svoboda indicated that the main part of the work will be carried out by military enlistment offices. The governors will be responsible for the implementation of the plan. It was also reported that 10,000 people should be recruited for professional service in Chelyabinsk and Sverdlovsk Oblast of the Russian Federation and 9,000 more in the Perm Krai. So that's it with this one. So they will have 400,000 new contract service personnel. Now, I think contract personnel is regular military. It's not recruited, as I said, mandatory military service. I don't think that's contract personnel. That's like, here, you got a job. You want to be? Come over here. We're going to give you $50,000 and then we're going to give you a tax exempt for the rest of your life if you survive going and driving trucks in wherever we send you. Are you okay with that? Yeah. And when you come back, by the way, you're going to be considered a hero too. Oh, okay, thank you very much. I think that's the exact how the Russians are told. That's exactly what you're going to happen. You're going to get $50,000 or $150,000, paid college, taxes exempt forever. You're going to be called a hero for your, 2 or 3 years, wherever you're going to be deployed over there and do a lot of drills. Not active combat or anything, but you're going to be respected because you signed a deal. You got employed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it goes in Russia. So here it is, 400,000. What do you think those guys will do? Probably those guys will go and either release others from their positions to go and fight in Ukraine, or they would go and fight in Ukraine. Remember, Russia has the potential, and believe me, they have the weapons, the ammunition, and the personnel. What I think the way they look at this war against, in their perception, NATO and United States and all this on the territory of Ukraine is like this. We have to outspend these guys. We're gonna use the minimum possible energy that we have to put over there in order not to rock the boat in our country. That is, we should not have a lot of soldiers, a lot of Russians from Moscow, St. Petersburg and big cities killed. Big cities, not villages. It's a different story. You have to understand that too. You don't want the big cities to be upset. You want the big cities to be happy. You don't really care about, villages, because you can't have a mass protest in a small village somewhere in, Vladivostok area or somewhere in Siberia. But it's a different thing if you have a mass protest in Moscow. A lot of things will be activated and a lot of people will start doing BS. So you don't want that. So that's why usually in the capital city and other big cities, they had better fed. They had different perks for this reason, not because they like you. They want you to be calm and take it easy so I can suck your, not that, but, your resources. Yeah, it's a resource too, but anyway. Yeah, you can replace that with, anyway, let's move back. So that's why they have the ability. They don't want that to happen, so they don't want Russia to be destabilized. And for 1 year, it wasn't. Why? Because who's fighting in Ukraine? It's not the regular U.S. Russian army over there. There is some, but not a lot, and I think they are in behind. You know what I mean? Not in front. In front are the guys from those oblasts, those territories, Luhansk, Donetsk, Crimea. Those guys are fighting their war, which if they die and whatever happens is over there. You fight for your own thing. We support you, plus the so-called how do I put him? Volunteers, Wagner groups, these guys who are contract. So if they die, nobody can blame Putin because it's a contract. So that's why they also insulated themselves, the Russians, from bringing a lot of dead people in the big cities. Whereas on the other side, whatever happens, those guys are defending their land. Now the Russians are saying, actually, we are under attack by NATO and so on. And how long is this going to go? Until the Western citizens will come out and say, enough is enough, my children don't have food, or my life is in dire straits, and I don't like that one. That's when it's going to stop. If things are still going like this, they're going to go forever. When the standard of living in the Western countries will start decreasing, and it already happened, inflation is high, unemployment high, and as I said, prices for groceries high, energy prices high, and you realize that it affects you, and people make connections between their lives, the aid, the economy in deep shit, and these people doing what they're doing, and Ukraine will say, stop that. They will use that even if there's no connection, let's say, between this. They will still make that connection, even if it's not there. Why? Because when you have a problem, you start looking, I don't want that. How was before? Oh, before we had this, so what changed? We had the COVID is gone, right? We have Ukraine war. Oh my God, let's get rid of Ukraine war, It's like when a ship sinks. What do you try to do? Dump unimportant things first, and then the important things first, thinking that you're gonna keep it floating. The same here, you're gonna dump whatever you think was added extra to your life. So that's when this war will end, not when the weasels are going to determine over there, well, you know what, I'm tired. They will never be tired. They like it. A general likes war because that's his job. That's where he's hoping to shine. Then after that, to get a job somewhere in the private sector or go into politics and get elected. As an Eisenhower and others. And other guys who get to be senators or whatever they want to be. They were some of them previously military people, but the generals are trying to get positions in Raytheon or Lockheed Martin or Boeing's board of directors with a big, very good pension plus that, and then get into politics. You want to see that? Look at Lloyd Austin. He was the defense minister, or whatever he is right now, Secretary of Defense of the United States. Look at his history. He was a general. He got to be general, but he's scared like shitless of COVID with all those, welding masks. That's how he showed on COVID. I thought that courage was one of the main thing in army, in the military. If without courage, you will consider a posé and you would stay home, wash dishes or something, or go to the river and wash clothes. That's what you would do. No insult to anybody, but that's how it was in the old days, which I know they're bad days. The good days is different. You just protect yourself like crazy. You don't go on the front line. Example, look at Mr. Schwarzkopf. The General Schwarzkopf, Desert Storm, yeah. You killed what? A rusty army in a desert of a 20 million population with a coalition of 1,000 states. And you're, give me the Purple Heart, yeah, I'm General Schwarzkopf here. Embarrassing, as I would fight a toddler. I beat the toddler and I go, hey, am I good, man? Baby doll, am I good? Yeah. Yes, you are. This is how I see all this masquerade. So they generals like that. Politicians like it because they're very active and they think that supporting that, if the public opinion goes in that direction, they will support that. If the public opinion changes in a different direction, they will support that one because that's how they get elected, with the money, of course. And then the free elections, free and fair, and you can use another word with F, free, fair elections, right? All right, we got that covered. So yeah, the Russians were going to bring more army probably to release others, to bring them to the front and push for another offensive. I don't know if Ukraine will have that force or not. I don't think so. They already had the general mobilization a year ago. So yeah, but that's a lot of volunteers somehow showing up, maybe speaking German, French, English, and who knows what else. Maybe there's some Asian Ukrainians fighting over there as well. Who knows? I don't think that. There were a South Korean who fought over there as a volunteer, so you never know. And all these volunteers with, how do you call them here, ranks, they will fight for Ukraine and they will help the counteroffensive. And then we got shot. Oh, it's a volunteer. It's a volunteer. Okay, all right. If you say so, we believe you. Not. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.